Chargers TV here at the Durham Entertainment Centre, and we've been lucky enough to have an old stalwart, so to speak, come back to a familiar playing venue, and that is none other than former Hobart Tassie Devils player in Paul Stanley. Paul, great to have you back in Hobart, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It's great being back. A lot of memories here. Got to see a lot of friendly faces and familiar faces, and just excited to be here.
Obviously, back in 2014, we had a Devils reunion game and brought back guys like Murray and Timmy Brennan, just to name a couple there. And obviously, we put the invite out to you, but unfortunately, the timing just didn't work out. But it would have been nice to have you here those years ago.
Yeah, I certainly would have loved to have been a part of that. The logistics at the time didn't work out. I think I was in the middle of the season doing some coaching. Yeah, that would have been great, and you and I were able to at least do some Skype work, and I got to see the game on DVD, so it was good to see everybody running up and down, and I certainly would have got a few shots up.
Oh, absolutely. Now being back here in this venue, what is that? I mean, you got to play here in 1989 and 1990, and of course you're out of Kingborough from 87 to 88. So what's it like being here? And I know you'll be in Kingston, I think, over the weekend to do some clinics, but Yep. What's it like here to just be back at this old venue and see some memories?
The venue hasn't changed much. I mean, the venue it still looks the same. The seating arrangements are a little bit, different. Yeah. But I loved this building. It's a homey, warm place to play. A great shooting background behind the hoops with the dark curtains, and the crowds. When we played here, this place was always full. So a lot of fond memories of the DEC, that's for sure.
And of course, the old Devils Den up at the Kingborough Sports Centre, they must have been good times to play on. And I know when I look back on the footage in our archives for Chargers TV, that crowd was absolutely amazing up there back in those days.
I believe it was the best crowd in the National League at that time. Now, some of the other venues like Boondall in Brisbane and a couple of the others were bigger and maybe had more crowd, more butts in seats, but nobody was louder and nobody was more passionate than our crowd at Kingborough.
Do you still follow NBL down here, and do you still keep in contact with former teammates and that type of thing?
Absolutely. The magic of electronic media, Facebook, Instagram, things like that has been a godsend for me. So I've been able to keep in touch with Andrew Gaze, who's a good close friend, Nigel Purchase, who's a really good close friend, Murray Shields, Steve Carfino, Wayne McDaniel, Peter Mann, and the list goes on. So yeah, I keep in touch. I watch a lot of the NBL. I watch a lot of what goes on here in Tassie. So I'm excited. I think Australian basketball is exploding.
I'll just get your opinion. Obviously, you mentioned Andrew Gaze, and Andrew having two tough seasons in his first coaching stint with the Sydney Kings. How are you finding? Do you feel for Drew a little bit with some of the stuff that he's been going through?
Absolutely, because Drew wears his emotions on his sleeve. I was a similar player, extremely competitive and passionate about the game. So I feel for Andrew because sometimes it's difficult for a fella who's played at a really high level to coach because he expects everybody on the floor to be able to do and play the way he did. So I know that that little run he went on at the end of the year, I think saved his job perhaps. Andrew has a head full of basketball knowledge, and whether he can translate that and inspire his guys is the challenge.
Let's turn our attention to what you're currently doing back home in the States, and obviously what you're going to be doing out here over the course of the week that you're here. I know you've been in Melbourne for the past few days and caught up with some good friends of yours. Now you run a Shooting Stars basketball kind of business class shooting school and that type of thing. You want to explain further?
Yeah, it's called Shooting Star Basketball. We just did some work. We did a day of work with the Chase Basketball Organization at the MSAC in Melbourne. I am basically a shooting instructor. I run kids through my program, hourly lessons, weekly lessons. I take teams, but I specialize in shooting the basketball and teaching kids how to shoot the basketball the right way.
And for obviously, I'm sure this footage will get back home to the States. How can people contact you, Paul?
They can give me a call on a call or text or a message on my cell, and they can also reach me via email or through Facebook, Instagram. Again, the electronic media is a great tool, but we're going to do some work here in Tassie in the next couple days with some camps and clinics. So come out and say hello and get some more information if you're interested. We'd love to see you. I'm excited to work with Tasmanian basketball players.
And is that a good thing to you're here and you're able to get back to, you gave a good 4 to 5 years here in Australia, but now is it good to come back and finally give back to upcoming juniors coming through the ranks?
Absolutely, and I think the opportunities for Australian basketball players today are endless compared to what they were, say, 25 years ago, with a lot of Aussies in the NBA, a lot of Australians in the Division 1, 2, and 3 college programs. So, and working with young Tasmanian up-and-coming associations is just, I can't wait.
Well, Paul, lovely to have you here back home. I feel like Australia is your second home, and we thank you for your time, and no doubt we'll talk again soon.
Great, thanks a lot for having me, Ronald.
Paul, what sort of memories do you have coming back here to the Doon Entertainment Centre?
Wow, there's a lot of memories here in Kingborough as well. I spent my first year playing in Kingborough, but tons of memories here. All the old teammates. We had some great games here. We had some pretty talented teams during that time, 87 and 89 and 90. Joe Hurst, Wayne McDaniel, Steve Carfino, Jerry Denard, Peter Mann, the list goes on. So a lot of great memories of games and of teammates and of the fans. I thought we had the best, most loyal fans in the NBL at that time.
You keep a close eye on Tasmanian basketball, still even all the way from over in the. I might just get it that way. Yeah. Do you keep a close eye on it at all?
Absolutely. I've been able to keep in touch with Ronald, with David Bartlett, with all my old teammates. So I keep a pretty close eye on it. Electronic media has been tremendous to keep those relationships alive, and the explosion in Australian basketball and Tasmanian basketball is exciting.
How disappointing is it that we don't have an NBL team now, given that you were someone that had such success with the Devils back in the day?
Well, when I see the same things happen in the U.S. and different professional leagues where, teams may fold and they have to start over again, it's a tough haul. And Hobart being a smaller media market, I know that that's a tough go, but I think David has this club poised to make that next step. I think that the Chargers management has done a great job in creating some excitement here, and I think that they're in a good spot. I know that the population base, the crowds, and the return on an investment is the key to be included into the NBL. So I know it's a tough haul, but I think that David has done a great job, and I think they have a real good opportunity there.
If you were here in 2014, would you have played in that Devils reunion game? No question.
Absolutely. I still play a lot. I try to keep myself in pretty good shape. I still play with the 20-year-olds at home, so that's just part of my makeup because I'm an extremely competitive guy. So it doesn't matter if I'm playing cards with my mother. I won her $5. So yeah, I absolutely would have played. While we're here for the next 5 days, we're going to be looking for a little bit of a game. I have some coaches with me. Some of them are ex-teammates of mine in college, and they still play and keep themselves fit. So we're looking to any time to get a shot up.
Thanks, mate.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.